Hi everyone, this is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Thank you for being with me here tonight. I have a special reading for you guys. This reading has to do with lovers and separation. So if you are currently in separation with someone that you care about, this reading is for you. And we're going to be taking a look at past, present, and future, and projections that are operating in your relationship, and whether it's a good idea to stay with this person or not, or to try to go back to this person or not. So that's a lot to undertake, but that's where we're going. So for those of you that are in separation, I'd like to provide some guidance for you. So if you are drawn to this blue stone or pile number 1, this will be your pile. If you're drawn to this fire and ice crystal here, this will be your pile. If you're drawn to amethyst on this third pile, this will be your pile. So pile 1, 2, or 3, and then I will link in the comments to your pile, so that, or not in the comments, in the description box below, so that you can find your pile right away. So with that being said, let's put piles 2 through 3 aside. And let's take a look. For you, pile number 1, the blue stone. This very beautiful and rare blue stone. So our question is, what are the projections for partners that are in separation right now? What are the projections that are operating past, present, and future? And how can these be resolved? Okay, so on the bottom of the deck is the Four of Wands, which shows that you at one point had a happy home with this person, or that was the mutual desire that was shared by both of you. And so obviously if you're in separation, maybe you're still in the same home together, but you're just not speaking, or maybe you have broken up that home. With the 4, we can see that we look like there was a solid foundation that was trying to be set with you both, but something happened to throw off that balance. And, so the way I'm doing this reading is the masculine is on the left and the feminine is on the right. So that doesn't mean boy and girl. It can mean whoever is holding masculine energy versus feminine energy. Although I might refer to he and her, or she, or him and she. You don't have to take it that way. So to start off the reading, I'm going to pull a couple of Osho Tarot Oracle cards here as well to get the party started. Okay. Okay. So right away in this, what I'm seeing is in the past on his side that, this Four of Wands, like, stable, beautiful, we're in this together, we have a happy home together, energy was destroyed. And and actually this wheel is upside down and I didn't even notice that. I don't usually read reversals because I can get the same information out of them, but the wheel was actually reversed. So it's like you guys went backwards in your connection, and the wheel can, sometimes you're on top of the wheel and sometimes the wheel crushes you, right? And this connection actually like reversed course, and you can see like the person just sliding off the wheel on this reversal. And I think it's like reverse destiny. If you thought that you had this kind of Four of Wands destiny with this person, but you actually didn't. And, you know, time keeps on spinning into the future is what I just heard. And with exhaustion and this upside down wheel, it's like the wheel between you guys just could not go anymore. Like, it was grinding to a halt. It's like when you have a car that gets stuck in mud and the wheels just spin and spin, but it's not going anywhere. Like, and even here it looks like two car headlights. And then someone like in the driver's window of the car, just totally tired from trying to make something move forward. And, you know, I think this, because the exhaustion card is facing towards him, I would read this as the exhaustion is visited on his side. Like, that is this person is feeling exhausted by the situation between you both. And from your side of the coin here, I feel with the King of Wands facing into this reversed wheel with the exhaustion, is that you've been the one lighting the flame. And in their view, you've been, you know, you're the cause of all this exhaustion, because maybe you were demanding certain things, or you were taking a confident stance that you hadn't taken before, and this other person was trying, your significant other was trying to respond to that, but was just feeling like very exhausted in the connection. And for you, like, you might have for the first time shown your stripes, right? You might have been like as sweet as a daisy, and then at some point shown your stripes, and that person, it just sent them in a tailspin. Like with the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about holding your center. With a reversed wheel, there's no way that someone's holding their center in that, right? And so it just became like a very exhausting dynamic, probably for you too, where you had to always be like Mrs. Confident, Mrs. I've got this, Mrs. I don't need you for it, you know, kind of always just, it's like you couldn't let your guard down either. You were like, booyah, you know, and this person was probably was exhausting to you too, because the exhaustion here is really the shared energy, right? It's like when a vehicle is going down the road and all you see is the exhaust coming out of it and it's making everyone choke. It's like the general atmosphere has become filled with like this toxic air. And, you know, that was definitely like a shared energy that was going on. Now, with the present energy, for the feminines in this connection, I see that you were the one that left the connection. You were the one that packed up your stuff and left. And you probably destroyed this person's vision of what a happy, you know, a happy home is to some extent. Like if this person is sitting back now in the present and wondering, like, how did I ever think that this would work, you know? And you're running off like, I'm just gonna leave your ass, you know? And I don't even care that I've left 2 swords behind. I've just gotta haul ass out of here, right? This 7 of Swords is very focused on where they're going next. And the energy that you guys are sharing is the Master. And this is a major arcana in the Osho deck. It's basically a picture of Osho, I believe is what it is. But it's like, you know, the light bulb came on for both of you. And it's like when the relationship was about ready to go into something more mature, it's like you were like, no way. And you totally like got scared off. It's like your intuition just turned on and you're like, this situation is not for me. Right? And then you kind of left this other person sitting back, the masculine sitting back and wondering, like, how did this even happen? Right? And I feel like with this Seven of Swords, it was a bit shocking, but then also not in a way, because I definitely feel this master in this person as well. I feel like this person was not, like they were presenting to you that, oh yeah, I want this and this is all good. But there's a part of them that they always held back from your connection. And that's why the master is coming through here, because both of you, I think on some level knew that the connection was not viable. Now, for the future card I pulled here is the silence card, okay? And this is the moon card in this deck. And so silence in the moon, in the night, in the moonrise kingdom, right? All is silent on the earth's plane, and you can see the stars up here. I mean, I honestly feel like silence is what needs to happen after the exhaustion, the realization, and then it's like both of you are in silence. Now, this person in the future position is holding the cup as the Queen of Cup and facing into the void, is facing towards you, pile number one. So I think the reason we have silence in the future position is because you, as a feminine, are in no mood to take somebody else's cup after all this shit that you've been through with this person, after all this disillusionment and waking up to what's going on. You are in no mood for, you're feeling like bitter and hard done by, and you're not feeling like you're facing away from this person's cup. And because this is a spread about projections, I'm going to say that there might be a part of you, pile number one, on the feminine side that wants to look up and accept the cup, okay? And then there's a part of this other person that doesn't want to do anything because they're feeling damaged too. And I think that this spread has a lot of mirroring going on in it, right? And you could easily switch it and turn it for the other one. Like there might be a part of you that wants to reach out and offer this person a cup. But the point of the matter is that it's not going to happen, because at the end of the day, the timing is going to be off, because there's not going to be receptivity. The moon is all about receptivity, but we see a block here with the Nine of Wands to receptivity. And so and I feel this is going to be more held from your end, on your side, the feminines. There's something that happened in this situation that has not sat right with you, and therefore you are not into accepting this offer. As kind and as selfless as it might feel to be, it's like not having it. Okay. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck is suppression. So on some level, I just asked, what about this Nine of Wands and what's the feminine feeling? On some level, I feel that you felt that, for the feminine, felt that this relationship was suppressing them, and they've gained a new understanding. They've received guidance and they're ready to have a new beginning and reset back to square one. And so that's why the feminine in this situation is not wanting to accept the cup, right? And pile number one, if you came here to learn about separation, and if you're in this separation and will they come back and what's it all mean, there's probably a part of you that hopes that this person is going to offer this cup to you, but there's deafening silence. The mutual energy is deafening silence, and it's sort of validating for you that you don't want this person anyway. And I know for me, sometimes I go look at readings even when I don't want somebody to reach out to me. So maybe there's a part of you that doesn't want this person anyway. Okay, so I just asked about this person and their Queen of Cups offering that they're trying to give you. So I feel that they are trying to, it might not be like that they're trying to come back to you as a romantic partner. They might just be trying to close a karmic cycle and come back to you as showing that they've done the work and that they can let go. But there's the Ten of Pentacles here twice in their message. So they're still holding on to some belief that you guys were like meant for each other. They're still holding on to that, but they're really trying to complete a karmic cycle and let go of what happened. And they're trying to put together the missing puzzle pieces, and they might feel like they need you in order to help them put the missing puzzle pieces together. But I'm seeing on your side, you have received guidance from your angels. You have a new understanding, and you're not willing to rock out in the shadows with them anymore. You want the light. So I don't know. I don't think you're going to be available to this person to do this, joint puzzle putting together and letting go. I don't see you being available for that, for pile number one at this point. Maybe later on, but not at this point. Okay, so with that, pile number one, I hope that was helpful. That was tough. I really commend you, pile number one. If this is a situation that you're in, either as the masculine or the feminine, I feel for you guys. I've been there. I know what it's like. I'm so proud of you guys for hanging in there and sticking to your guns. So for pile number two, let's clear the energy and let's look at pile number two. For those that are in separation from their current partner, what does your current partner think, past, present, and future? And what kind of energy are you guys creating together? Okay, so those in separation, let's look at past, present, and future for the masculine and the feminine. When I say masculine and feminine, I mean not necessarily a man and a woman, but whoever is carrying the masculine energy versus the feminine energy. So take it as it resonates, as all the readers say. You know how it goes. The masculine's gonna be over here, the feminine's gonna be over here. So this is the masculine. All right. On the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands. So both of you are moving forward into the future, into brighter and happier and more vibrant days. And I can definitely see that with the Ace of Wands coming out here on the feminine side. So let's look at some of these energies. And I'm gonna pull the Osho cards here to put down the middle to show the shared energy in the past, present, and future. So let's get some cards for the middle row here. All right. So on the bottom of the deck is the Tower, or breakthrough. So you might have had a tower moment with this person. It certainly got a little fiery. As we can see here in the present, things might be a little bit softer and simpler, or just having gone within. But there definitely was some situations, I would say, in the past that you have had with this person. So I think in the past, like, the shared energy is understanding. So I feel like you and this person very much understood each other emotionally, like what you wanted separately. I feel like you understood what each other wanted. It's just that both of you were very self-focused and self-directed in what you wanted in the past. So that might have impacted your relationship, because what I'm seeing is a lot of solitary energy. I'm not seeing like a lot of togetherness. I'm not seeing a lot of warmth. I'm seeing more of like maybe almost like a power couple who understands each other and what each other want out of life, but are missing the boat on the emotional connection, especially in the past with the Chariot and the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is associated with the Chariot because it's the 7 and the Chariot's the 7. So again, the understanding of each other is totally there. Like, you know, you can see, a lot of times you can see why a person is the way that they are, and hold empathy and sympathy for that person's plight in life. And I feel like, you know, both of you can be like very defensive, very impatient, very like me against the world kind of attitude, right? And at the same time, like, maybe you're both grubby survivalists and you see things as black and white, like things are either this or they're not. And you've had to be that way because of things in your life that have come up. And you can tell with his position, or on the masculine side, that he's had to fight off quite a bit of threats and hold his ground. And with you as the feminine in the Chariot, you've had to really just go after what you want and command your, you know, be the charioteer, command your dream, move into the future. Don't let anything hold you back. Keep going, keep moving, keep persevering, right? And so it's like when two MMA fighters meet each other. And it's like they understand, like, hey, we've had to fight for these things in our lives. But that's kind of like these lines here also look like cages in a way. It's like that can also become a cage for a relationship if you feel like, oh, it's, you know, me against the world. Well, then you try to make room for others in your me against the world stance, and it doesn't always work. And so I feel like there definitely could have been a lot of that going on in the past in your relationship. Presently, what you realized is that it set you both on a different path, right? Where like the sex might be lacking, and the you know, and maybe you're separated right now too, so you're not having sex anyway, right? There's a deep friendship between you guys because you get each other. The Hermit and the Two of Swords are very similar. The Two of Swords goes back to the High Priestess. And if the Hermit was to be with anyone, he'd be with the High Priestess. So, but the Hermit isn't with anyone. He's single and he's off on his own, and he's contemplating life, and he's looking at all life from all different angles, and he's on his own journey. The Two of Swords also is not looking for anybody, wearing their blindfold, and they've totally gone within, right? But you can see that the energy shared between you guys is friendship. So there's definitely friendship and understanding in your connection. There just seems to be a lack of intimacy. For as passionate as you guys have been about pursuing things and standing up for yourselves, etc., it's like when you have to turn on the heart energy, it just doesn't quite turn on. There is a beautiful friendship there, but it doesn't really turn on. The future shows that there is a lot of changes that need to happen in the future for your person. They need to completely revise, rethink, and like move into a new phase here with how they see the world. With the fire coming from the helmet here, it's like this person's head needs to be set on fire. This control card is the King of Swords in the Osho deck. And so there's a knowledge upgrade that this person really needs to have, an experience, and a deeply felt experience, because we're talking about Scorpio energy with the Death card here. We're not messing around with this card. Like, deep internal transformation is needing to happen for your person to finally break out of some of the isolation and loneliness that they've put themselves into because of certain patterns in their life early on. So it's definitely needed. Big changes are needed, because the way that the energy that comes out of this is the King of Swords, where it's like, I understand now and I can have more control over outcomes because I understand more. Now, this control card can also be a little bit scary looking, right? Like, it's like, really? Like, what does control have to do with understanding and friendliness? So the shared energy in the future, could you guys just waking up to the fact, the way that your patterns have created things, right? But it doesn't necessarily show even warm and fuzzy energy in the future between you guys. Now, I do see you guys have a friendship, you have understanding, you're waking up to patterns in your life that have plagued you before. On the feminine side, I also, with the butterfly here, straight up transformation as well. Yours is just your transformation is just a little bit more beautiful than the masculine's, who's riding in with his helmet on fire, with the horse with the red eye. You've got this beautiful butterfly in the wind, with this beautiful sunrise coming out over the city. And so your awakening is a bit more mild, it looks like here. But I do see with the Ace of Wands, like a new beginning, new passion, new energies coming in for you, and not in the same way they have in the past with the Chariot, where it's like, I just have to go and do things. It's like, no, this is a heart stirring, this is a joyful response, this is a change and how you also see the world too. Like, your inner work is gonna manifest great things for you too. And I think it's gonna manifest like some new sexual connections for you as well, which is how I generally read the Ace of Wands. Not always, but a lot of times it's like sexual chemistry, passion, fire. And if that's been kind of missing from this relationship, that's gonna like come, you know, soaring back into your life for you. So let's see. So we have, you know, I'm asking about this Ace of Wands and basically where it comes from. Like, you breaking free, and there's two eights here. So you breaking free and traveling, an adventure. Maybe in August, you're gonna go on a trip. Maybe you're gonna do something really fun. I see you kind of going off on your own on an adventure. And this card is so sweet. I just love it. I think it's the Page of Earth, or the Page of Pentacles. It's so sweet. But I really just see you going off on your own and traveling and kind of laying down and setting aside like any guilt or any feelings you might have had about putting this connection aside. You're gonna be like moving forward and traveling and having new adventures, which is always good. This person is also, like I said, their transformation is a little more, they're going into sun energy, which is great. I mean, here you have the moon and the sun, which naturally follow each other after letting go. So this person is probably going to be a much better partner after they've let go of some of this old energy, like the sun and the moon integrating the masculine and the feminine within themselves. And they might become a lot more appealing, and maybe you will look at them with new eyes with this Ace of Wands. And maybe we'll lead you back to them. You know, we'll see. Let's ask. Will the masculine's transformation lead the feminine back to them? I think so. That is the Karma card, and the Hierophant is on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, I think you'll run into this person again. Let's put it that way. I definitely think you're going to run into this person again. Maybe in this lifetime, maybe in another lifetime. But there you have it. So thank you so much, pile number 2. That was your reading. I hope you found it enjoyable. And let us look at pile number 3. Okay. So with that said, we're going to go ahead with pile number 3. So pile number 3 is the Amethyst. And what we're looking at is for lovers in separation, what past, present, and future energy is coming up, and what is the guidance associated with that energy? So past, present, and future. I was going to say past, present, and future lovers. But past, present, and future energy with the person that you're in separation from. Okay, and so the way I read for this is that the masculines are here, right here in this column I'm pulling for. And the feminines are here in this column. Okay, so masculines and feminines, and that doesn't mean that it's man versus woman. It could be either just whoever is in the masculine, who's ever in the feminine. And then I'm going to pull some Osho cards here as well for the shared energy down the center of the reading. All right. Oh, you also have the Tower at the bottom of your deck. Obviously, you went through a separation, and so it was a Tower event. At the bottom of the deck that I'm reading with here for the masculine and feminine is the 8 of Pentacles. So you guys might be very focused on your work right now. You might be very focused on your solitary practices, whatever that happens to be for you. Or you might be trying to work it out and not having a lot of success, because usually the 8 of Pentacles is success, but in this version it's like spilling off the pentacle and the wax is kind of dripping down the stairs there. So it's kind of like messy, you know? Some messiness going on here. So messy work. So how I see this reading here for you guys is with the 2 10s and then the 5 here. It's like you both had a lot of hope for the relationship, and you both wanted to be a 10 with each other, like be in completion, be in a final stage. There's a lot of finalities in this whole reading. We have the 10 here, we have another 10 here, we have the World, we have 2 8s, and then we have these 2 10s on top here in the past position. So both of you wanted to have, like, you know, completion and have a relationship together. But I see with the 5 of Wands here that they cannot quite grab a hold of each other's hands, right? You think half of 10 is 5 5 plus 5 is 10. And so that you'd be able to grab each other's hands in this. But it's like not being able to quite join and meet up. And because I see another person holding on to the right hand side of this connection, another like person, this could very well have been a situation where there was somebody else involved in this situation as well. Or it could just be that like you were holding, the feminine was holding part of themselves back from the connection, right? Which would also make sense here because on the masculine side, it looks like this person's carrying a lot of the weight, and maybe you were a bit too idealistic on the feminine side, right? Like part of this is owning our own naivety, I can't even say the word naivety, and you know, seeing where our projections did not equal reality, right? And with the 10 of Cups, it can get a little too blissed out, like where you can have a 10 of Cups moment for like 5 minutes, but you can't have it for 100 hours, you know? And maybe it left the masculine part of the connection just feeling like, you know, this person wants this idealized version of reality and I can't give it to them. And then maybe you on the feminine side felt like you had to basically hyperextend yourself to this person to even get to them. And at that point, they weren't even able to reach out their hands to you at all and grab you because their hands were so full of everything else that they were carrying. And with this 10 of Wands energy, there's a woe is me energy. If you look at the steps this person has to go up, it's like, geez, put a couple of these wands down, you know, then maybe you could catch your feminine on the other end, right? So it's kind of like this totality where it's like black or white. Either we have this amazing, beautiful life together where everything's perfect, or we have nothing, right? We've got nothing and nothing is right and everything's horrible and we just can't decide, you know, what is our reality here, basically. And I do think with this laziness card in the middle here, that's a lot of pressure to put on a relationship. And I do feel like the masculine kind of just gave up. The masculine was like, I don't care anymore. Like this laziness card looks like Ron Jeremy to me. Looks like Ron Jeremy, who, for those of you that don't know, is like a porn star who's like 65 years old, just, you know, relaxing and like, I don't care anymore. Knight of Cups, laziness. With the 8 of Wands going in the other direction, it's like, I'm going in a different direction and I'm off to another realm, another land. And the front that I'm presenting to the feminine is like laziness, just like, you know, who cares? Like I feel like sometimes after you go through a period of constant, like feeling like you're carrying the burden of something, you might get this attitude of laziness where you're just like, I don't really even care anymore. Like, especially with the 5 of Wands and the 8 of Wands here, there could have been words that there could have was said. There could have been fights and woundings that happened. This person just wants to hang out on a beach and eat and drink a margarita, really is what they want to do. And you can tell, I think, for the feminine side here, that their laziness is like, you know, like very unattractive, but you don't really want to see it, right? And I think that goes up with the 10 of Cups here. Like you don't really want to see the fact that like this person is not really all that they're cracked up to be. Like they're kind of a martyr. They're like, oh, everything's so hard and and then, you know, when the other person doesn't respond, they just like go off and they're like, fine, I'm leaving, I'm out of here. And they're just like, deal with everything yourself, laziness, right? And so there's a part of you that doesn't really want to face that, I feel, that is like turning away from that projection that person's giving you, your masculine's giving you, because you're just like, ugh, you know, like that's hard to see, you know, and there's some naiveness happening here on the feminine side. I feel on the masculine side, he's just seeming like he's more of a martyr and he just rushes off when shit gets hard. Now, with this Seven of Cups in the future position for the masculine, I think he's going to be dating different people with this Seven of Cups, and he's going to be trying out different things. He might be traveling. He might be going different places, going out with different people. I think he's just like, whatever goes, goes. Like, you know, I'm sick of feeling like I'm so burdened and I have so much responsibility. I'm just going to go and like look at everything and do whatever I want. So there's definitely an energy of that with the masculine side here. And with the Ten of Swords here in the middle, it's like for you, for the feminine side of this equation here, I definitely see you coming out of like a phase where you didn't want to look at things and you didn't want to see things. With this flute player coming out of this lion, I definitely see you opening your eyes, waking up, and seeing what's really going on. So the future energy is the Ten of Swords, basically just saying, yeah, this person can stay in their confusion. That's fine. They can stay in their whatever, but for you, I see you waking up, right? Look at this person, this woman, her eyes are open. She's looking up. She's aware. This is a major arcana card. It's the World card. She's dancing naked. She's got a lion by her side again and just watching the ox, right? And so, and separated instead of on here, like still being attached by the head. This feels like a liberation for you. Pile number 3, this really, I feel, feels like a liberation where you're coming out of any naive feelings that you had about this relationship, any dream that you didn't want to let go of, and you're seeing this person kind of for their patterns and who they are, and you're waking up to it, and you're the lion. You're actually the lion. You're like looking back at the bull, I'm not even trying to roar at you. I don't even care anymore. I'm a lion. Look at me, right? So I feel like for you, like with the eagle up here in the corner, and then with this beautiful woman up here on the left, it looks like your angels and your guides are coming in for you. You're being given wisdom with the eagle up here. You're grounded with the lion and the ox. You've found separation. You've found yourself. You've opened your eyes. You've completed a cycle, and you're more mature now as a result of having seen what's going on. And maybe that's the Eight of Pentacles here. That's the work, right? That's the work that you're putting in. So let's get a little bit more clarity from the Osho cards, and let's ask about the masculine with this Seven of Cups. What's going on with the masculine and his like many choices or dating around and his Seven of Cups? What's going on? Well, he doesn't really want to get organized, that's for sure. There's not a lot of organization happening here. Let's see. Okay, so this person, yeah, they are, you know, if you've been in the Eight of Swords, they're now in the Eight of Swords, and they're trying to be adventurous and they're trying to get some guidance, but it's being overshadowed by their own Eight of Swords and their own feelings about guilt or responsibility for what happened in the connection. And they are looking for guidance on it, so that's good. They're trying to get to understanding. They're trying to let go. But it's just a long journey for them, you know, even with the 10 of Wands, this is a long journey for them. And, you know, it hasn't always been clear for them. And I think for you, pile number 3, you're starting to see that about your person. It doesn't mean that you're like signing up for that life, because I don't think you want to be with Ron Jeremy, but with a lazy porn star, but like, you know, you're maturing because of this. So let's look at the world energy. Okay. So yeah, this situation has exhausted you and it's made you like wise up. And I definitely feel like with the 2 of Cups and the Queen of Swords, and the Fool, you're gonna be much more aware and mature and responsible in your next relationships, in your next relationship that you have. And I do feel a new relationship is coming in for you. And this person might be very exciting and interesting, and not as martyry or as like beleaguered as this other person. And that's interesting for you. But I also feel like you're going to be a little bit more jaded. You're going to be a little bit more serious than maybe you were in the past. Like the 10 of Cups is a much different energy than the Queen of Swords. So I definitely feel that you're going to come in with a stronger backbone, with stronger ideas about what you want. You might want to start as friends first and build from there. If this other relationship like moved too quickly, you're not going to really want that in the future. You want to maybe start off as friends, and you want to see like this person, or is he going to bring you flowers? Is he going to show up and do something cool and fun and interesting with you? Is he going to be exciting to talk to, right? Like all of those things are, instead of just getting into a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, you're becoming more discerning about the people that you invite into your life. And I love that for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. That was your reading, and I will sign off. I'm Natalie from Power Moon Tarot, and good night.